Hello and welcome, fellow Shadow Priest disciples. I'm Dark from Darkest TV, and today we're going to do a quick BiS list video. Now, the truth is, it's hard to find the perfect BiS with gems everywhere, enchants everywhere, and so on and so forth. So that's why on the Shadow Priest Discord, there is a sim contest going right now to find our true BiS. However, I wanted to get this out to you as fast as possible. I've had a lot of rumbles about how BiS lists are being required already and priority lists and so on and so forth. So I wanted to get this video out to you with what I've simmed as the best, and perhaps something will come up where it's different and I will then issue a correction video or message it in my Discord or post it on Twitter or something along those lines to get it out to you as to what the perfect BiS set is. However, I made two sets here. One is the mace set and one is the dagger set. And the reason I chose to do two is because I think it's important to focus on setting up your prios in a way that's conducive to you getting loot and also not blocking too many people from getting loot. It's kind of a team-focused way of looking at it, I suppose, but also selfish at the same time. Like, we want to get kitted as fast as possible, just like everybody else, right? So, Suffering's End is the mace, and the Blade of Tarask is the dagger. Now, with those two sets, I'm going to give you a top 3 priority list for items that don't change between the two sets in this phase that are the best upgrades over last phase. So as you can see on screen, we've done the tier 9 4-piece. This is only BiS when it becomes the heroic 258 eye level tier. Prior to that, it's better to use your 4-piece tier 8. But if you're still working on that, you're in your gearing up journey or whatever, you just switched from an alt to a main or just leveled up or whatever it may be, you may not have your tier 8, at which point tier 9 is perfectly fine while you're getting to your BiS. So the 3 items that don't change between the sets are going to be your necklace, your cloak, and your trinket. And we'll start by talking about the necklace. The necklace should be our 3rd prio on the list of our top 3. It's powerful. It's anywhere from 80 to 100 DPS increase depending on the sims. So it is a very strong item, but they're all about the same amount of upgrade. What we're focusing on is getting the most contested items as fast as possible. So this again will be in our top 3, but it will be number 3 on the list of priority. Then we have Aetha's Intensity. This cloak is quite difficult to get. It's one of several cloaks out of the final chest of a no wipe run in TOGC. So because there are several cloaks that drop here and basically every caster is going to want this cloak, I just want you to put it at number 1 in your top 3 list. Alternatively, you can get the 10-man version-ish of this cloak, but it's also a no wipe run and it's not anywhere near as strong as this one is. We have tier chest and shoulders, obviously, and then moving down to bracers, we have bindings of the Ashen Saint. These aren't that much better than the bracers from last tier, Grasps of Reason, so it's not on our priority list. Suffering's End, the weapon of choice for this set, obviously. Lightbane Focus doesn't change, but it's also not a massive upgrade from Cosmos from last tier, so it's not in our top 3 priority, but it's still a great offhand for you. Pharaoh's Gloves, still BiS, still powerful. There is an alternative option that uses the tier 9 gloves with the Aurora of Transcendence. This, of course, is an option, but again, it all sims in a similar ballpark, so it's hard to say for sure which of these is BiS. Moving on, we have Belt of Tenebrous Mist, then our tier pants for our 4-piece, Sandals of the Morning Widow. These aren't that much greater than Boots of Fiery Resolution, which is why it didn't end up in our top 3. You have Conductive Seal and Nebula Band. Of course, those are our BiS from last tier, but they are also still our BiS this tier. There is a 3rd option to swap with, that is the Lurid Manifestation. So if you're having bad luck on one of these rings, preferably Nebula Band, you can swap those 2 items. However, Nebula Band edges out just a tiny bit, like it's super small. So one of these 2 is great. Down to another top 3 item. We have Reign of the Dead or Reign of the Unliving for our trinket. This will be number 2 on our prio list. This will be a strong trinket, but there's not a terrible amount of competition for it. Obviously, it's everybody's BiS, but not too many people are going to be too excited about getting the non-periodic spell crit aspect. We crit constantly on Mind Flay and Mind Blast, and that procs it, as well as the initial hit from our Devouring Plague. The only thing that may change this is if the item's internal cooldowns change or something like that when this goes live. but that is still being worked out, I believe. So I don't want to give the final answer on this. However, I'm still going to put it as number 2 in your top 3. It is a pretty high DPS increase from our trinket options of last year, apart from Lair of the Heavens. Lair of the Heavens is obviously still on our BiS list. If you don't have this yet, you have to keep running Vezix, unfortunately, until this tier is over, at which point then we'll have that discussion. Petrified Ivy Sprig in this set is BiS. This item does swap a bit between the Mace set and the Dagger set, so keep that in mind. And with that, let's talk about the Dagger set. You'll notice the immediate differences. So there are a lot of things that are the same in this set, so I'm not going to go over those. What I am going to do is go over the things that do change. So the only real things that change between this set and the last one is the Barb of Tarask in for the weapon and the Scepter of Imprisoned Souls in for our wand. And the reason that is because of the Petrified Ivy Sprigs hit, as well as the yellow socket, which we just put hit in. So that's the only difference between the dagger and the mace set. So you'll notice right away that a lot of items could be put in our top 5 prio that are automatically going to be contested, that are items that we could want, but I didn't do a top 5. I did a top 3 because it seems like the most common ask. However, if you were to do a top 5, I would select our weapon of choice, whichever one we're going for. So Barb of Tarask or the Alliance version or the mace, right? We would choose that as our 4th item on our priority list. And then for our 5th item, you could choose either Sandals of the Morning Widow or Belt of Tenebrous Mist. I would probably go Belt of Tenebrous Mist, and I find hard mode Flame Leviathan a little bit easier. I've seen the boots drop a lot more than I've seen Star Watcher's girdle drop, so keep that in mind. It's a great, great piece. Again, these are relatively interchangeable for your top 5. And that's it for our BiS list. I'll have all of these sets linked below, both troll and human, so you can use those as quick reference whenever you want to. You can take them, sim off of them, change them, adjust them, do whatever you want to do with them. But I did make them for you so that you have them, and I hope that that helps somebody. Now, if this video helped you, you're stuck around this long, you may as well leave a like on it and consider subscribing to the channel. Again, my name is Dark. Feel free to ask any further questions down below, or maybe give suggestions on the BiS list if you have things that you've simmed that you think are better. And until next time, folks, farewell.